Bill Major. Welcome to Shaman Time. This is an opportunity for us to come together again, gather our thoughts and get our wits about ourselves, and settle in and relax. Take a little time off, give ourselves a break, away from the hectic kind of lives that we all live. No scheduling, no rescheduling, no busyness right now, no phones to answer, nothing to do except settle in and think about, or perhaps I should say contemplate, the dialogue that I'll provide this time. Shaman Time is an opportunity for us all to relax and come together and look at the prospect of altering our thoughts and aligning ourselves with new ways of observing and understanding that which is always present and been here forever. The normal and common elements of the world around us. Today, I'm concerned about how we're missing out on opportunities in our adult lives to revisit the things of our youth, in the sense that play, I'm specifically addressing play, and I've looked at it, and I've looked at the definition out of a dictionary, and I've asked other people, and I'm going to sum up play meaning it's something that you work at and do that you don't get paid for as a job, which really gives us an opportunity to think about what are we doing when we're working at a job that we really like to do. When we're working and doing something that we like, there's all kinds of new options that open up for us. Constraints that might be present in other places where we're doing something that's just less than what we're comfortable with or confident in doing, or even have just an inborn ability to do it, is replaced when we approach our things of work in a manner of play. How is a manner of play defined? Well, I'm beginning to realize that it is all as large and as complex as all the individuals that are here on the planet. Each one has its own way of coming to grips with what play is and when to play. The sequence of things when you're children is pretty straightforward. We wake up, the world's there, and we go into it. We're not really plugged into schedules and to any kind of particular life plan. We just know that we're learning all the time, and we are discovering things all the time. Everything is new, and it's all a discovery. So we're completely like huge sponges, ready to soak up and suck up everything that we come into contact with. Since we have nothing to base it against or know about it, we are just open books to be written into. As we accumulate more detail and information over time, we begin to build on what we've come to know with what we're discovering. So discovery never really stops, but our attention being focused on discovery or driven to discover does change. Sometimes I've heard the term resistance to change, and I said, well, what is resistance to change? A lot of different kinds of businesses have been launched on things on how to improve your business, how to improve your attitude, how to improve your approach to life. There's just all kinds of things about change and resistance to change. I'm not so sure that there's a resistance as much as there's not an interest or something to move us to change. Some sort of little kick, something to push us off center. Like inertia has two things going for it. One, when it sets at rest, it remains at rest. And when it's in motion, it tends to remain in motion. And since most of us are resting somewhere physically and spiritually and emotionally, it takes some sort of catalyst to get us moving at a more rapid rate, to have us decide to go and tackle some bigger questions in life, to look more to the future and change itself. And when we're disgruntled or unhappy or not pleased with something, we can search for change in many places. And this is where play can come in to help us to take small steps in exploring new and unusual options that are not necessarily the most obvious choices that can be made to retool ourselves to do new things and to do things that we enjoy from a sense or perspective of play. Playing is a natural phenomena. It's an outgrowth of learning. When we take toys and we stack blocks, we're learning the basic rudimentary pieces of gross motor skills in our bodies to begin with, as how we pick up and move things, but we're also getting the basics of some sort of stacking principles of how gravity will hold things in place where we put it. And if done correctly, we can create all sorts of skyscrapers and houses and little roads and things with blocks. Now, what do blocks and play, how do they connect? It's what's being done with the blocks. Now, in the physical sense, we can stack and make small buildings, and we can make mazes and other things that are challenging to our ability to manipulate the hardware, or in this case, the solid blocks. How about when we're playing are also rearranging our mental blocks? Our mental psyche is changed by what we touch and what we do and how we go about it. Attitude goes a long ways. If our attitude is one that is open and happy and eager to take on more information, then we're really blessed in that sense that we're going to be working somewhere where we want to go every day. We look forward to it, and we want to be there. And the effects of that are contagious. People around us will see that we're happy, and they will pick up on the fact that we're doing things that we really like, and that comes through in many other ways. The nonverbal straightaway gives you the idea that that's a happy person. Then there's the productivity level. The sheer number of things that you create and do and deliver, it goes up. It's because it's becoming a labor of love. Something that we love to do. Something that draws us to do what we're doing. In play, we are given so many opportunities to discover things about ourselves and the world around us. Interaction between yourself and another individual may have come very late in life. Maybe you were already 8 or 9 years old. If you had brothers and sisters, I'm sure that you learned to share early on. So your time was, I would say, not all yours, because you had a brother or a sister, or maybe both, a brother and a sister, that they were vying for the same kind of time that you were with your mom or your dad. You have to go back and re-enter that part of being a child and look at things in the childlike way. And who decided anybody's important or more important than somebody else? I don't think there's any rule out there to say who it is or what it is, but I certainly know that we sometimes do it to ourselves. Mentally, we check out when we hear certain things, and when we're at play, we may check out and then wake up a few minutes later and realize that we've been playing, but we don't know what we're playing with and what we did and how we did it. So that momentary or moments of not having being able to recall is not a horrible thing, but it can be quite frightening if you're used to having a razor-sharp memory. And especially when you're doing something that you like. When you're playing, you tend to map everything and know where everything's sitting, and you're really in the process of play. So I want us all to think about how we play and we keep ourselves moving along in our play so that we derive the greatest sense of well-being and spin off great energies that radiate out and help to lighten and bring everything else that we embrace a life of its own into our worlds and create beautiful, beautiful characteristics and attitudes that people enjoy being around as we evolve and take advantage of play. There's got to be a way to show you how play works. I think the greatest amount of play is that I come here and I speak to you and I talk about any number of things. I'm talking about playing and play. If I got down to thinking about all the things that it took to get me here, it would be overwhelming because there are so many things that go on in our lives. The activity's endless, as is play. So I would like to invite you into considering providing me some feedback and ideas on what you consider to be play. Somewhere in the program you'll be able to find a email address or a website. I'm not sure how we're doing on that, but there's a way to communicate to us so that I can take the information down and I can play with it and put it into some sort of structure so that I can dissect it and reuse it, recycle, and replay with it to communicate with you, or at least let you send me a communique on how you are, what you're doing, and the things that are drawing you out into other parts of the world, into the playground of life. I like to play putt-putt golf. I just like it. It's not complicated, it's not hard. So give yourself an opportunity to continue to sink in and relax. Think about things that you like to do. You might like to play cards or build domino houses or I don't know. It's as varied as there are people in the world. So play comes in many, many forms. Generally speaking, when we're playing a board game with one or more partners, it's exciting. But yet we can also have as much excitement as a board game with two partners as we can all on our own. Because in the deeper side of things, we can come to know so much more just by having a simple opportunity to play. So here we go. This is Shaman Time. I'm Bill Major. Have a great time. Enjoy playing. And I'm going to give more consideration about playing more frequently. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy your time. And play. Put that love out there for everybody. I look forward to seeing you next time. It's Bill Major, and this is Shaman Time.